and the All Indiana Podcast Network. This is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update.
Hello, I'm Jeremy Jenkins, and this is your News 8 Daily 8 Podcast for Thursday, June 5th. We begin in Indy, where IMPD says a drive-by shooting after a graduation party has sent an 18-year-old woman to the hospital. Officers were called just after 12:40 this morning to a home at North Elizabeth and 45th. That's just west of Lawrence. Police say young people were leaving a chaperone party when someone fired shots from a vehicle driving by. At last check, IMPD says the 18-year-old is stable. Police are asking anyone with information to contact IMPD or Crime Stoppers. On Indy's near north side, police are looking for information on gunfire that injured 2 people. IMPD says officers found a man shot around 8:45 last night near West 38th and Capitol. Police say that victim was taken to a hospital in critical condition. A short time later, officers say they were called a few blocks west to Boulevard Place. A person at that location told officers they were hit by a stray bullet near the area of the original call. According to IMPD, that person was stable. Investigators say they believe 2 vehicles were involved. At this time, they are still working to learn what led to the gunfire. To a story I-Team 8 has been following, Governor Mike Braun says the state is rethinking how to carry out executions. This after nearly $600,000 worth of drugs used for lethal injections expired. Now there are questions about cost, process, and whether the state should even keep the death penalty. I-Teammate's Tim Spears reports.
According to Governor Mike Braun, pentobarbital, the lethal drug Indiana used to execute Joseph Corcoran last year and Benjamin Ritchie last month, cost $300,000 per use. We knew the state bought at least $900,000 worth of the drug under Governor Eric Holcomb, and now the Indiana Department of Correction tells me 2 doses of the drug simply expired. Then the state had to buy an additional dose, an estimated $1.2 million for 2 lethal injections.
Something that's got a shelf life of 90 days. I think we got in a pickle where we, stored 3.
Governor Mike Braun says there's no plans to restock the state's inventory of deadly drugs to execute Indiana's 6 remaining death row inmates.
And then something that costs, I think, $300,000 a pop that has a 90-day shelf life. I'm not going to be for putting it on the shelf and then letting them expire.
Bernice Corley, the executive director of the Indiana Public Defender Council, believes this moment is an opportunity to discuss the future of the death penalty.
Really, we need to re-examine what is the point or what is the utility of the death penalty.
After a 15-year hiatus, Indiana's short revival of the death penalty drew protests, then raised questions about the use of lethal injection drugs when Benjamin Ritchie's attorney said he had a violent reaction during his execution.
And his feet were moving for about 10 seconds. Then he sat up and violently twitched for about 3 seconds. Lay back down. Definitely a very violent twitch.
The Department of Corrections tells I-Teammate Ritchie's execution was completed according to protocol. No media was allowed to serve as an independent witness. Governor Braun suggested, along with abolishing the death penalty, the state could consider alternate methods, like firing squad, which is used in other states.
We got to address the broad issue of what are other methods. The discussion of capital punishment in general.
Is there a humane way to carry out an execution?
No. Death is death. So we will consistently oppose the death penalty.
Republican State Representative Bob Morris tells me he plans to once again introduce legislation for Indiana to abolish the death penalty next session. In studio, Tim Spears for Wish TV and WishTV.com.
If you recently received a text saying you owe money for an outstanding traffic ticket, you are not alone. Indiana State Police say scam texts are being sent out all across the state. ISP Sergeant Ted Boner posted on X yesterday saying, "This text is hitting our area hard today and is 100% a scam. Scams use fear and urgency, and this scam is no different. Do not fall for this." We must note that the BMV generally does not send texts regarding any outstanding tickets. While the Damien Center just opened its new Mosaic building, leaders there say it is a major step forward in expanding HIV treatment and support in the community. The 56,000 square foot space sits on Washington Street near Oriental and now serves as the Damien Center's new headquarters. The Damien Center's president says staff can now serve more than twice as many people, something that is greatly needed.
There are about 7,000 people living with HIV, and about 2,000 of them are out of care, meaning they're not getting the medical care and the medication care that they need. So Indiana, unfortunately, the HIV epidemic continues to go up every year. In some communities, it's either leveled off or gone down, but here we have a hot spot.
The Damien Center says the new building features 18 exam rooms, 6 dental bays, and a mental health suite. There was also a cafeteria to serve hot meals, computer labs, and space for community gatherings and support groups. Let's talk sports. Tonight, the Pacers and the Thunder tip off the NBA Finals. News 8 sports director Anthony Calhoun is in Oklahoma City talking to the team about the challenge ahead.
I tell you what, there's so many storylines coming into today's matchup here between these two teams. One thing that I know a lot of people are talking about is just the fact that your Pacers, no doubt, find themselves as the underdogs coming into this matchup here tonight here against the Thunder. Wish TV, we were at practice yesterday as the Pacers get ready for this showdown here in this best-of-7 game series with no doubt, the best team in the NBA all season long in the Thunder here in OKC. The Pacers are very much aware that everybody outside the folks in Indy are picking the Thunder to win it all in this series, but that's been the story with the blue and gold throughout this entire postseason, been the underdog. I spoke to the guys yesterday, and they told me they're going to ride that wave all the way to in hopes of winning an NBA title.
There's no shortcuts to beating this team. And we know the odds are stacked against us, but, it is what it is. We want to be here. We want to play against the best, and this is the best. So, we're looking forward to the challenge as a group.
I feel like that's been the norm for us throughout the playoffs, and that's okay. We're not really worried about the external noise. We know what we have to do to win, and we have to do it together. Anything outside of that, we're not concerning ourselves with.
We enjoy it. I think everybody in our locker room and our staff, we enjoy being the underdogs. I mean, we've been the underdogs since I've gotten here for the last 3 years. Every game in the playoffs, it felt like nobody wanted us to win. We're here, and nothing's new, and we're going to attack it with the same mindset.
And you can see right there, these Pacer players, they welcome it with open arms, been the underdog here once again in this series here against OKC. Of course, we got all your team coverage coming your way. A little bit later here on Daybreak, our Andrew Chernoff, he's going to join us out here in OKC with the latest on the blue and gold. All that and much more coming up. Anthony Calhoun, Wish TV, and WishTV.com.
When it comes to the weather, Storm Track 8 says we are in for cloudy conditions today along with some showers. Meteorologist Marcus Bailey has your News 8 Daily 8 forecast.
We had a lot of rain overnight. Unfortunately, we still have some steady showers. Nothing severe here this morning, but we've had some intermittent downpours that you're going to have to kind of dodge here. So not ideal. Give yourself some extra time to get to your destination here for this morning. You will likely need it. And Tara will show you why here in just a bit on the traffic front. But radar active right now. We've got steady showers pretty much across the entire metro area. And there's some intermittent downpours. Looks like down around the Greenwood, New Whiteland area in Johnson County. That is moving east. Some downpours on the south end of Indianapolis inside the 465 loop. You get into Hamilton County up around Westfield. You're dealing with some more moderate pockets of rain right around the Delaware and Henry County line also with some moderate pockets of rain. Then obviously down in southwest of Indianapolis, you got very consistent showers. Steady rain right now. I mean, visibilities are not looking great currently with that rain falling downtown, 67 degrees. And it is a calm wind this morning. We're mild. Everybody kind of hanging out in the upper 60s to around 70 degrees for this morning as this low continues to travel to the north and east. Stationary boundaries just going to hang over the state today, giving us several rain opportunities rolling through the afternoon. Bank on a wet morning drive. Numbers hovering around 70 degrees, so we'll give you the yellow light. Futurecast as we go hour by hour, 9 a.m. to noon, and then noon into the afternoon hours. I think the coverage gets a little bit lower, but there will still be some isolated showers and thunderstorms around. Severe weather risk stays south of Indy for the afternoon, maybe some damaging wind potential. Keep that in mind later today. 78 will be your high, so significantly cooler compared to the last couple of days. I have more rain chances to talk about for Friday and possibly this weekend. We'll break it down to my Storm Track 8 forecast in just a few minutes.
To get a peek at Marcus Bailey's full forecast, just head over to wishtv.com, or you can download the Wish TV Storm Track 8 app. And don't forget to check out our Storm Track 8 weather blogs. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 podcast for Thursday, June 5th. I'm Jeremy Jenkins for Wish TV and wishtv.com.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go, connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening, and be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.